This is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. We're going to do some bicycling and bicycling through the desert down in Arizona. And we're going to look at some of the cactus down there. And as we bike along, I'll tell you about a few of the reptiles that are down in that country. And I'll even sing you a little song that we sang as we bicycled over the number of days and nights in the desert. So come along, you'll learn a little bit about the cactus and the reptiles and a little bit about bicycling. There is a lot of hiking and biking trails in the high desert country of Arizona. You can ride alone or you can ride in a group. It is a popular activity by both the young and the not so young. It's a great outdoor feeling. It is springtime and the desert gets as green as it ever gets. And when these new buds burst out into flower, the desert comes alive. We rode our bikes down in the desert when the cactus was just coming into bloom, like this one. You are going to get a double treat here. First, you are going to see some cactus in bloom. Second, you are going to have the opportunity to hear me sing a little tune that we made up the words to at night after our bike rides. We made up these words from an old cowboy song that was called When the Cactus is in Bloom. Cougars prowl and the coyotes howl out on the great divide. I've never been wrong a-singing this song as down the trail I ride. Rattlesnakes rattle at the old prairie dogs. You can hear their rattle 'neath the moon. It's a riding time out on the desert when the cactus is in bloom. Daylight comes and I hear a yell, they call out every man. I throw my backpack on my old bike horse and I drink my coffee from an old tin can. The sun goes down on the old bike trail and I'm a-gazing at the moon. 'Cause it's time to ride on the desert floor when the cactus is in bloom. Now we never have bad weather, it never snows or rains. This is where the sun shines hot, out on the desert plains. Some of the boys have hit the sack, but they'll wake up soon. 'Cause it's riding time in the desert when the cactus is in bloom. Let's look at some of the many kinds of cactus that grows on the desert. This one is the most photographed. It is big and everyone can easily see it. It is the famous Saguaro Cactus. Notice the spelling and the pronunciation. An English speaker would say something like Saguaro, but why not pronounce it correctly like the local Spanish speaking people here do? In Spanish, the A has an AW, an ah sound. And the G has not a G sound, but a W sound. So, and don't forget to roll the R at the end. So you would say saguaro. Saguaro cactus become more noticeably and more numerous as you move southward. As an aside, notice how midday lighting can change from dawn or dusk lighting. I took this photo in the middle part of the day in the full sunlight. Now this photo is a dawn or dusk time of the same photo we just saw. And this is all natural light. I'm not sophisticated enough to use filters on my camera. What you see is what you get. These cactus will grow up to 12 meters tall. And they live for about 150 to 175 years. They grow their first arm when they are 75 to 100 years old. The bark works like an accordion. It expands to absorb more water when it rains. Then it contracts its pleats like an accordion to preserve water. A big one can weigh as much as 4 tons with a bunch of water in it. Its blossom is the Arizona state wildflower, so it's a well-respected and well-known cactus here. Nowadays, they are protected by law. It is illegal to cut or dig them. It is illegal to shoot them with your gun or ram them with your vehicle. These holes are made by the many birds that drill into the cactus and make homes in them. The cactus Arizona copse are everywhere to protect the cactus. Nevertheless, crooks still knock them down and sell them to landscapers for big money. Natural death of the trees of the cactus comes at the hands of old age, disease, and fire. The trunk stems are composed of smaller poles like this that are used to make walking sticks and the framework for shade porches and lean-tos. The shape here gives the name of this barrel cactus just coming into bloom. Just boil it if you want to avoid starvation out in the desert. Stew it to make a cabbage like food. Early indigenous people got water to drink and a form of cactus candy from it. It has pointed spines with a little hook at the end, and they were used by these early indigenous people as fish hooks. This is the base of an osatillo cactus. You can see the name spelt in the lower right-hand corner. Note that the L in the spelling has a Y sound in the Spanish. Therefore, the correct pronunciation would not be the anglicized version that might sound like with an L, osatillo. The Spanish correct pronunciation would be the way they pronounce it down here, which is osatillo. It is a tall, wiry looking cactus. This is the cola cactus, sometimes called a teddy bear cactus because it looks nice and warm and fuzzy like a teddy bear. But don't be fooled by that. It is also called the jumping cola because of the myth that the cactus could actually jump out at you. However, this is not true. But if you brush up against this cactus, it will quickly release and attach to you like a burr quickly attaches to your socks. A good strong wind can blow these cactus balls loose, and they can get blown onto you. If the sharp little spikes attach to you, you will feel a sharp pain as a needle is bearing into your skin. Tiny little birds like this one here fly in and out and around the cactus at ease with no trouble at all. These cactus here are called prickly pear cactus because of the pancake shape of their leaves. The official Mexico coat of arms has an eagle perched on a prickly pear cactus doing battle with a snake. These raw leaves can be over 85% water. They can be made into fig-like pear-shaped fruit, commonly known as cactus fruit. Here are some prickly pear in an old bathtub for decoration. A lot of different cacti make popular landscaping, garden, and household decorations. You know, people buy cactus for landscaping to put in their gardens and even in their house. But I would say to go to a reputable landscaper to buy your cactus. I know somebody who thought they'd get away with bringing a cactus home right from the desert. Left it in their house, and then after a couple of weeks, it started to make some noise. And they wondered what it was. And somebody said, you better take that to the landscaper and see what's doing that. And they took it there and cut the cactus open, and there was 1,000 insects inside ready to hatch. Somebody said they were tarantulas, which sounds really bad, but a tarantula is not really that poisonous of an insect. So a cactus makes a great addition to your home landscaping. But buy from a reputable dealer. It's illegal to actually take cactus from the desert. There's a lot of non-cactus vegetation in the desert as well, and it is also very colorful, particularly in the springtime. They all have sharp spines because of the dry desert climate, but there's quite a variety of these different types of plants. And here's another one here. This is the Magway plant, which is the king or queen of all miracle plants on earth for human beings, and it's been that way for centuries. It belongs to the agave plant family, and also goes by the name of a century plant. And it grows from this area all across the southwest U.S., all the way across Arizona. Besides providing a basis for tequila, its strong fibers have been used to make thread, and also it makes an impenetrable thatch for dwellings. It's also been used to make carpets, hammocks, make fish nets, and make parts of horse saddles. It has an antibiotic sap that has been used to counter E. coli bacteria. Its thorns make needles and pins. The outer leaves are boiled to tenderize and flavor meat. And agave sugar is welcomed by vegetarians and by those afflicted with diabetes. There is no greater plant on earth. There are a lot of varieties of insects and reptiles in the desert, and they all want to get out of your way if they can, but sometimes it's impossible. And that is especially if you're jogging, listening to your radio with your earphones on and not paying attention, or if you're ripping down the trail at high speed on your bicycle. Rattlesnakes have a diamond-shaped head like this one here. They live from 10 to 25 years, and some are hard to see, so avoid getting your hands in their areas, like under rocks and in bushes. These snakes form one more rattle in their tail every annual skin shedding time. That rattle is a warning to others only. It has no communication role with the rattlesnakes, with other rattlesnakes. A rattler will also hiss at you if you are too close. And believe me, if you hear that hiss, you are too close. Baby rattlers are born alive in batches of about 10. The mother leaves immediately after their birth, and they are on their own. Rattlesnakes eat about every 2 weeks, and they eat things like small rodents, lizards, and the eggs of young, small ground nesting birds. Their venom paralyzes the victim, and the snake swallows it whole. On the rare chance that you might get bitten by a snake, but if you do, you should try to get to a hospital in a half hour. But the real damage might take 2 or 3 days. Only 6 out of 7,000 bites result in human death, according to recent statistics. You should treat every snake bite like it might be a rattlesnake bite. Leave the bite area alone, stay calm and quiet. Trying to chase down the snake and kill it only endangers your life by getting excited and using up energy. The poison goes to your heart faster. It is best to keep the bite area below the level of your heart. Whenever I walk or bike in the desert, I make a point to ask somebody local, where is the nearest hospital? How far away is it? Hopefully you'll never have to answer those questions. But if you did run into some trouble with a snake bite or something, or into some cactus, you might want to know how to get some help as fast as you can. This is a Gila Monster. Again, the G sound in Spanish is a H sound in English. Gila Monster. And originally discovered in the Gila River region of Arizona, this poisonous lizard lives under rocks and brush. It is slow-moving and stays in its local area. Its lifespan is 20 to 30 years, and it stores its fat in its tail, and it can go for months without eating. These guys here are young lizards. The adults eat small birds, lizards, frogs, insects, and mice, and will climb trees to get bird eggs. They have an excellent smell, a sense of smell and taste. They find their scent by flicking out their forked tongues. They either crush their prey to death, or they can swallow a smaller prey alive and head first. Their enemies are coyotes, mountain lions, and owls. If you happen to get bitten, it feels like hot lava is running through your veins. A bite is very painful from these lizards, and you can suddenly feel weak due to a sudden fall in blood pressure. However, the saliva or lizard spit is not generally fatal for humans, and the spit is used in the treatment of type 2 diabetes. So I guess if you do happen to get bit, the bad thing is it hurts. But the good thing is you won't die, and hey, maybe you'll be vaccinated for type 2 diabetes. So keep your eyes open and your brain turned on when you're bicycling anywhere. And especially in places like maybe the high mountains or the backcountry or the desert. And enjoy it. I hope you learned a little bit about some of the cactus and other plants in the desert. Something about the snakes and the Gila Monster. Come along, we're going to do some more biking in the desert. This is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. Hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up, and we'll bring you more of these videos. Adios till then.